We've got a big problem on our hands, don't we, folks? Every day, for most of us, more than once, we are exposed to it. Everywhere. For many of us at work, but even in our homes, the one place we build our whole lives to feel safe, we are exposed to it. Everyone. Every single person that you've glanced at today on the sidewalk, at the stoplight, behind the counter, exposed to it. Now, some are led to believe that we are only exposed through strangers, and that's very, very logical. Have you ever awkwardly changed your pace approaching a door that someone was holding for you? The first date, when you're excited, nervous, aroused, yeah, we're exposed to it. But it's not only with strangers. When you're talking to a spouse in bed, disciplining your children, you are exposed to it. Now, men, you have a higher exposure rate than women. Waitresses, due to your line of work, you have possibly the highest exposure. Politicians and doctors following neck to neck as well. This is a big problem, isn't it? And the scariest fact is that since we're constantly exposed to it to the point we obviously can't acknowledge or recognize it, lost the ability completely, it will be impossible to fully undo the damage we've caused to ourselves and our fellow companions. This big problem is, in my opinion, the biggest and the most unhealthy habit socially and perhaps emotionally as well. We spread it as much as we're exposed to it, and with time it trains us to display emotions we don't even feel, slowly shaping us more and more into that of a liar. Often it makes us feel guilty for absurd reasons like simply being in a room. Now, some people are even worse off and have conditioned themselves not to trust the emotions of others because they're unclear and no longer trust their own. Now wait. This is rather extreme. This is dramatic over a goddamn habit. I mean, 2 fucking words that everyone abuses, right? Right. Try walking the day without it. It'll be easy. It'll only be a challenge if you've ever crossed a busy person's path, said or acknowledged the words, "Excuse me," if you've ever brought home the raw milk, or gotten into an accident on a Highway 24 and called up work like you put the fucking snow on the ground. If you've ever gotten spanked, and to this day you don't know why, but on that day you prayed and prayed for your ass's life. If you've ever been nagged for no reason or set 4 forks out instead of 5, if you've ever taken the blame for the chef's mistake and your tip proved it, if you've ever ignored a message, or even better, missed an important phone call on accident, what do you say? What do you say to all those customers, your boss, lovers, family, strangers, people you hide your hate from? You say a verbal expression of regret and give acknowledgement to your fault, failing, or offense, and you rarely ever mean it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Those simple, familiar words have made us into liars, procrastinators, guilt trippers. We'll say before we even start a conversation if we ask too many questions. And here's the kicker. We fool ourselves every day into thinking that the person who is receiving this apology has no idea and is eternally grateful for our consideration and the red carpet treatment. The reality behind the masked conversation is that the forgiver feels awkward and maybe even a hint of anger because now they have to respond with another lie. Typically it sounds something like, "That's okay." Now we've got 2 liars unable to establish true emotion and trust. Folks, do we want human contact so much that we engage in a small talk that is specifically meant to be for our humility? Are we that desperate for a connection that we are confusing other popular expressions like, I don't know, I love you? Help me? Let me help you? That was the happiest day of my life. I hate you. I miss you. I wish we had more time. I've made a mistake. I'm sorry. They may be simple expressions, but people, those words should never lead or leave us confused, and they certainly should never